to Pillah Sports. Welcome back to Pillah Sports. I'm your host, Manny, and today was the second leg of the Champions League knockout stage. And of course, without further ado, we are going to start with Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen. This game was just one-sided. You know, the truth about it is Leverkusen are a good side. Don't get me wrong, they are a good side. And a side that has truly and really been a revelation to the Bundesliga. However, Bayern Munich just shows every single time that they have the best ability to bounce back. Because when you look at that front line, and you have the likes of Kane, Musiala, Coleman, and Michael Olise, it is just devastating to know where to start from. It is truly devastating to know where to start from. For instance, the first goal, you have Michael Olise going against that Bayer Leverkusen's defender. I don't even think I was looking at who the defender was. I was just looking about how Olise was just going to dazzle this defender and put him on the back foot in order for him to create some magic. And 5 seconds later, Olise puts in a pitch perfect cross that lands on an even better header from Harry Kane for a 1-goal lead in the second leg at Bayern Munich. It was unfair, honestly. It was truly unfair settings in this situation. Bayern Munich, when it comes to the squad, is so freaking filled with world-class players. Look at their backline. You have Kim Min-jae. You have Upamecano, Dayo. You have Upamecano. You have Kimmich. And you have Alphonso Davies, and then you look in the midfield. You have Goretzka, you have Musiala, and then in the front line you have Coleman, Kane, and Olise. It is truly a devastating team to play against, and anybody facing Bayern Munich in this Champions League, you are in for the time of your life. Of course, we see in this situation, but Bayern Munich qualifies to the quarterfinals and definitely sends Leverkusen home. Leverkusen did not come to play. They absolutely lost 3-0 in the first leg and 2-0, I believe, in the second leg, making it 5-0 in an aggregate setting. So they were definitely out of the Champions League. This is one of the first few times with this group especially that they have played in the Champions League. So they have done well to get to the knockout stages. They did pretty well in the league stage too, so it's quite unfortunate. They are a young side, and I know that Xabi Alonso, if he's still there at the end of next season or at the beginning of next season, we will see a better side for Leverkusen. And now let's talk about the first game of the day. Barcelona versus Benfica. This was a mismatch. It truly was a mismatch, but I can't say enough about Rafinha. I really cannot say enough about Rafinha, because Rafinha today scores 2 goals for Barcelona. This man, for the amount of goals that he has scored for Barcelona this year, has only scored 1 penalty kick. 1 penalty kick. He has truly, when it comes to being clutch, when it comes to helping your team get to the next stages of the cup, Rafinha has been the quintessential servant of the club. He has been one person that you can call on him at any moment in time. Now to the young boy, Lamine Yamal. He is going to be 18 years of age in July. For all of y'all watching, what were you doing when you were 18? Because Lamine Yamal is one attribute away from being one of the top 5 best players in the entire world. One attribute away. Because he has everything else. He has the pace. He has the guile. He has the touch. He has the vision. He has the crosses. What are you looking for? There's one thing, and we saw a glimpse of it against Benfica. and that is the finish. The finishing, if Lamine Yamal can make his finishing a fraction better than what it already is right now, he will be one of the top 5 best players in the entire world of football. It is just magical to watch. It is magical to watch. I was just dazzled. First and foremost, when the ball came from the set piece from the other side of the pitch, going all the way, a lot of players will look at that situation and be like, yeah, just let the ball go out. He runs, gets the ball right at the at the other side of the pitch. It was going or throwing. Brings the ball, does the feint, takes the ball with his left foot, and literally uses the front part of his big toe. You know that connection between your the front of the toe and the gout part? He literally uses that part, and he just kissed the ball perfectly. Side netting, bing, bang, bosh. It is a finish for days. It was truly magical to see. And then Rafinha definitely just ends the game up with a beautiful finish for the third goal and for his second. But one person that I want to speak about, because yes, I've spoken about Rafinha and I've spoken about Lamine Yamal, but there's one person that makes Barcelona, and his name is Pedri. His name is Pedri. Because today I was watching a game and I was gushing about how Vitinha controls the game. Pedri does it even better. It's seriously comparable to both of them. Pedri today was just bring the ball, take it. Bring the ball, take it. I'm going to pick it forward, bring the ball, take it. And the beauty of it is him and De Jong switching positions. You do not drop in any attributes because both of them can both play as an attacking midfielder, as a center midfielder, and also as a defensive midfielder. It is mind-blowing how they find these players. And I know Pedri did not come from La Masia, but the idea to find Pedri and to understand before the world knew about Pedri, who Pedri will become, is absolutely beautiful. Excellent recruitment. Barcelona qualifies to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. It's pretty easy. It was an easy game for them. It was straightforward. And now they are looking to face whoever comes out of the next games. It truly is. Barcelona have the opportunity to get into the final of the Champions League the way they are playing right now. And talking about another team that has the opportunity to get into the final of the Champions League, it is Liverpool versus PSG. And that team is PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Because who we have known as Paris Saint-Germain for the most part is, this is a team that would splash big money on the biggest stars in the world, paying £200 million for Neymar. Don't get me wrong, that was a pretty dope and gutsy move, paying the amazing £170 million for Kylian Mbappe, and the amazing how much for Lionel Messi. However, they were not a team. There were 3 individuals and the rest. And today we saw, this season we have been seeing the reason why PSG is doing a lot better. It is, they are a team. Every single person is fighting for each other. Every single person understands the role that they have to play. Bear in mind, Liverpool came into this game 1 goal advantage. They got their advantage at Parc des Princes. And now they are going back to Anfield. It is so difficult to play at Anfield that I was like, I don't know if they have what it takes. They are a young side. They are a side that haven't been together for a very long time. But one thing you know for sure is Luis Enrique will prepare his squad. And that is what he did. That is genuinely what Luis Enrique did. It was true masterpiece of coaching. because he did set his team up right. He did set his team up. The game started with opportunities for Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and even Dominic Szoboszlai. But after those flurries of opportunities from the Liverpool experienced players, the game switched. The game switched the moment Dembele got himself in that pocket, passed the ball to Barcola. Barcola passed the ball in a perfect cross. And that mistake, the touch that Konate made. Usually you make the touch with your left foot, but he made it with his right foot. So in order for him to do that, he needs to stand up and turn around, and all those things became a problem. And once Dembele was right there in front of the post, he was not missing. And he absolutely gave them the goal that they needed to come and play at Anfield. At the 12th minute. So between that 12 minutes and let's say around the 65th minute, it was all PSG. You saw the likes of Vitinha, who arguably was my man of the match. And I compared Vitinha to Pedri, because what they did for individual clubs for both teams was truly masterful. Vitinha was absolutely bossing the midfield of Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, and McAllister. They could not put a finger on him. Bear in mind, Vitinha is not the 100 million player. It is actually João Neves. Now I understand that João Neves is not yet the player that we want to be, so they were bidding for his potential. However, Vitinha is a steal of a deal. A steal. Somebody that came, I believe, from Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Came from Wolves after performing in the Portuguese league. Has absolutely shown that there is talent down there. And Vitinha, being a small stature, absolutely showed out. Now I cannot go forward without talking about Nuno Mendez. Because Nuno Mendez, after the flurry of chances in the first 10 minutes, Nuno Mendez decided to turn on his brain and turn on his engine. Because what happened after that is that he took Mohamed Salah. Let's say this is Mohamed Salah. He put Mohamed Salah right here in the palm of his arm, put him in his pocket, and drove him right back to Parc de France. He drove him to Parc de France and says, yo, stay in my basement. You are not coming out. He pocketed the best player in the world like it was nothing. He was solid, energetic, great going forward, putting in crosses, dangerous crosses at that. Great coming back in recovery. Great in one-on-one against Mohamed Salah. Do you know how hard it is to do that? But he did. And that was so beautiful to watch. And the guy in the opposite position, Hakimi, the same thing. I don't want to go into Hakimi because I'm going to be glazing both of them. However, they were so important. I'm talking about in the 128th minute, they had an opportunity where Liverpool were trying to build out of the back. And there was a long ball. There was a heavy touch. And you saw Hakimi sprint. 120 minutes. I'm talking about we are past an hour 30 minutes. We are going on 2 hours. And he is still busting a gut to get there. And he got there. He got there. From his 18-yard box to almost the other 18-yard box of the other side of the pitch. It was truly magical. And then, with all the criticisms that Donnarumma received last week, which some of them I actually gave him some, because I felt like he could have saved that shot from Harvey Elliott. It was magical. And we all know that Donnarumma, when it comes to penalties, he is a 6'8" dude. Even 6'8", 6'10", I believe. This is NBA height type of player. And so when it comes to the penalty kicks, you have to put it at the bars. If you don't put it at the corner, or if you don't aim for the side netting, he has about an 80% chance, if he goes the way that you play the ball, to catch it. That is what Donnarumma is. And that doesn't mean he can't play football. He can still play football. Beautiful passes to Nuno Mendez when they were trying to beat the press. It was just magical, in my opinion. It truly was. PSG. I said it on my TikTok page. PSG has the opportunity to get to the final right now more than they have ever since they started this project, Win the Champions League. This team have a better chance. Bear in mind, there was a PSG team that actually got to the final. But I'm saying this team has a better chance of winning that final than any other team that they have had, including with the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. That was how good I thought they played today. And Liverpool are out. They are out. Of course, Liverpool has a final on Sunday to play against Newcastle. So they should not wallow in this for too long. If not, Newcastle would absolutely pick them apart. But it's a learning curve for Arne Slot. It's also a situation that Liverpool needs to find a better bench. They need to find better reinforcement in the bench, in the striking department. Because Jota, yes, he's a good player, but he was never a number 9. He was usually a number 11 that plays the left-hand side. But he also has the ability to actually just do some dominant stuff, because he is one of the greatest finishers that we have seen from the Premier League. So I understand, but they need to get somebody better. They probably would get rid of Darwin Núñez, but they need to get a really, really good, and in my mind, I can see no one better than Šeško from RB Leipzig. I think he's better based on how Arne Slot wants to play. I think he's going to be a perfect replacement for Darwin Núñez. Now let's go into Inter Milan versus, not Inter Milan, but Inter versus Feyenoord. This game was a tough one. Feyenoord absolutely dispatched AC Milan before coming into the knockout stages. So it wasn't going to be a mismatch like everybody thought it was. The Dutch league is just as good as some of the leagues in the world right now. And Feyenoord absolutely showed their quality in this situation. However, Inter Milan just had better quality. You see the likes of Marcos Thuram. Marcos Thuram is just magical. That whole family. You have the OG Thuram that played for France. And then you have Marcos Thuram that is just as good when it comes to striking. I think right now he probably is the number 1 striker for France. If not Kolo Muani. And then you also have Kafran Haki, that's not Afra Hakimi, but Kefran Thuram that plays for Juventus. The goal he scored last 2 weeks was just silly. So that whole family has football running through their veins. Feyenoord tried its best, but of course, after the goal from Çalhanoğlu, there was really no coming back from that. It was a game over at that point. So the Champions League has just shown us that there's a lot of opportunity, twists and turns, and good football being played. So make sure you guys join us down in the comments so we can discuss the game a little bit more. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. So we will continue this update and giving you guys one of the best coverage of Champions League football that we have seen. Comprehensive Champions League analysis and stuff like that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I will see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow it is at the Wanda Metropolitano, Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll see you guys. Peace.